Good evening. How is everybody doing? Today is March 12th of 2022. It is Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern. That is 8 9 Central, 7 Pacific. It is a live stream and we'll see if we be able to get. I do apologize. Looks like I didn't turn on the other light, and I was actually on the phone as we had as the time came in. So just wanted to get out here and had to finish the call. So how is everybody doing? So far we have no visitors. I was thinking of possibly maybe doing some giveaways today, but I know it was a kind of late letting you guys know. So if everything be okay, I am planning on giving away at least $25 next Saturday night. So let's see how many people will show up for that. As you guys do know from the video from yesterday, I've been involved in a small uh, rear end where I bumped somebody. Hey, how's it going, Gandalf? So that actually kind of played out good. I guy On Guy's car, there was no evidence of any damage or even scratches or marks. We had a bunch of snow here. It makes the road slippery. I tried of all of this snow. Hopefully, that is the last snowfall. But again, if this war turns into a nuclear war, that we might have a continuation of the winter for the next couple of years. So hopefully this doesn't. Yes, we had a snowfall of about 6 inches when I woke up this morning. I even took out a picture. Let's see where the picture is at. Um, nope, not here. So what I'm going to do is let me change this. Oops. So yeah, I kind of wanted to actually kind of show. So there was a that's kind of like how you guys can see, but it's kind of hard to see how deep. But yeah, it was roughly about 6 inches of snow when I woke up this morning. So yeah, that accident kind of went good for me. I didn't end up being the guy just couldn't find a reason to kind of put me into a situation. So, but kind of as I was kind of thinking today, and as you guys can watch that video that I created, how long will DoorDash keep doing this 225? How long these no tip orders going to be coming in? Because it is a huge distraction, and it's distraction that takes us off the steering wheel, takes us eyes off the road, and end of the day, it turns into a mess. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm kind of standing. I'm like, this is not safe. Let me exit out of here. For those of you that interested in crypto, crypto is kind of going sideways. Let me turn that into as well. And I'm probably going to do, this is a daily chart that I'm going to turn on. Oops, I did something wrong. Should have hit this one, yes. So you guys can see we are somewhat trading sideways. Even if I do some technical charting. Um, we're kind of going into this corner, which from that corner it will break out either direction. We probably would have continued coming down without this breakout, but because of the war in Ukraine, a lot of people started moving money where they believed Bitcoin might be a safer place. So that kind of broke out and changed the direction. But earlier or later, we will probably break down and continue dropping. So just keep that in mind. Those of you that saying, what should I put my money into? Um, Luna has done very nicely. It done 1700% since our first drop, which happened um, about no, actually sooner. That's happened in July. We see a huge recovery, but Luna probably be one of the coins that I would definitely consider myself going into, and is the only coin that actually had a huge recovery, which also went and created a new high. Um, See, like these coins are at the bottom, Luna, Matic at the bottom, AVAX, Ether. So while you guys see everybody is at the bottom, Luna is the only one that actually bounced back. So yeah, that's the only coin that, from my point of view, has a chance breaking out and create a new records when crypto start returning. And now when Bitcoin breaks down, Luna will come down again and probably will break under 50,000 possibly before it takes out. But there's a possibility where it might keep on going up and up for a while before we see Bitcoin doing a major drop again. So those of you that interested in crypto, that is my crypto update. Let me take that out. What else? War in Ukraine. It is continuing. Ukrainians are fighting back, pushing Russians out. Russians are trying to break through the gaps. And, it's kind of almost feels like, it's almost a game, even though real lives are being wasted with this war. Um, there's possible some things that might be happening in the next 5 days that might impact the results of the war, but we'll see. Um, those of you that might watching things that are happening in U.S. government, as we know, the previous bills, some of the things were thrown out because Republicans refused to approve it in the bill. But now, under this Ukrainian help or support, financial support, whatever it's called, they're trying to push all those things that they couldn't get in the previous bills. So instead of actually making a difference and helping people in that in the country of war and speeding the process up, they're taking advantage of that. and makes me sick to my stomach. And if I would have any say on Zelensky's side and know about how Americans are trying to help Ukraine, I would probably say, being the Zelensky side, thank you, but I'm not interested in you guys to support. If you guys trying to support and help us by trying to push things that otherwise you guys couldn't push any other way, no thanks. That's the way I would say it. Hopefully Zelensky realize how it all goes and says the same thing. It's just it's just crazy. Here's another thing is I'm still thinking. I have not made my decisions yet, but I have called in to show. Give me a minute. Let me find it. The name of the show. Um, Man, why it's so hard to find things? I have too many tabs that are opened. Okay, it's supposed to be a history tab. Why? I guess already. Sorry, found it. I called in to a show, which I believe the guy is in Florida. I might be wrong. Where is it? Come on. It's Brian Craig. That's the name of the channel. Uh, it's Monday. He runs a show Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 Eastern, and he allows people to call in. So I called in a couple days ago, and I uh, kind of, as you know, it's a burden for me seeing how people are suffering in Ukraine with that war and stuff. And, we asked, forth and back, and he asked a very interesting question. Do you believe Americans should bring their soldiers into Ukraine? As you guys do know, that I personally believe that the war that's right now happening between Russia and Ukraine, it is the beginning of the World War III. It's just a matter of time that is going to expand into other countries. Because as I see, we have war of sanctions, which Europe and America is already involved in. We have war of media, which here in America it always was kind of going leftist, but now as you guys can see across the world, and me understanding Ukrainian and Russian and English, I'm able to actually see how um, people are taking different sides. Some are taking the Russian media and turning, putting the English and taking the Russian side. Some are taking Ukrainian side. Some are having their own opinions. And then you have that, media war, where between Ukrainian and Russia, it's a huge war because, Russians try to tell their people that they're winning the war, that everything's good, everything they're running with beautiful colors, and the whole world is against them. Then you have Ukrainians, and they're talking about their side and how Russia is actually bombing civilians and areas where people live and etc. So you have kind of that second part of the war. Then you have this war of actually guns and bombs. And right now, guns and bombs are involved between Ukraine and Russia. Ukrainian trying to protect themselves from the invasion where Russians actually invading. So it's kind of like almost also means like it's a Russian war onto Ukrainian soil. So it's not where Ukrainian is taking the war out into the Russian territory. So, but I personally believe because it is a complication and because of the sanctions, the world has brought themselves and got themselves involved. Uh, and it's just a matter of time. Um, I don't think Putin cares about what happening, and that he's not having as much of a success. End of the day, he says, "Hey, I do have these chemical weapons, and if I cannot get results from any other way, why not get results?" No way. Plus, Ukraine has 4 nuclear plants, and any one of these plants goes, um, you have a spillover into territories outside of Ukraine. Here's something that, as we spoke with him, and he said, shouldn't I? My response was, that America's already involved. It's just a matter of time. America, Europe. It's just a matter of time before it actually we start seeing things happening that we just don't want it to see. And he's like, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about should American soldiers be in Ukraine. And honestly, I said yes, but if you look at the Ukrainians, they're not asking for American soldiers to enter to Ukraine soil and fight the war for Ukraine. All they're asking is just American or Europe, or somebody actually takes control of the air and pretty much stops these bombs and these airplanes flying over Ukraine, so Ukrainians can actually do what they need to do to protect their people and return their borders back to where it was by pushing Russians out of Ukrainian borders. That's what Ukraine is looking for. So I said yes, and he said something that kind of been bothering me since, and that is, why should Americans go onto Ukrainian soil and fight if Ukrainians here in the United States not willing to go back and fight? And I've been thinking about why am I not going back? It's going to be difficult for me to go back, and possible of me coming back to United States. I think it's very slim to zero possibility that I'll be able to return back because I'm still an immigrant with a green card, and if I go and I stay there past 30 days, I don't think I think my green card at that point becomes nulled and void, and I'm not able to return back. Two, I don't have any citizenship whatsoever. That means for me to even go back to Ukraine, I need to have some sort of documents. And the only way I can obtain any sorts of travel is actually try to get hold of Ukrainian consul in DC, and based on Ukrainian needing people to help with the war, hopefully they will extend me some kind of documents for me to actually travel into Ukraine. But again, I have not got hold of a Ukrainian consul yet, but I am thinking about it because end of the day, delivering food or delivering groceries or delivering construction material, it's not like I'm doing something hugely valuable here. Marriage fell apart, the loneliness. Maybe I could be more productive and more valuable back there. I don't know. I know my parents are, I talked to them, they're against big time. I spoke with some of my friends. They're kind of more acquaintances, people that I know, related to a um, Republican movement and Trump movement. And they're like, am I crazy? I don't know. I just kind of wanted to see maybe you guys can have some opinion about that. Yeah. Now, regardless Uber gas supplement, and I'll actually do some math for you guys. So they're offering us what, 45 cents, and I believe it's my market same price as everywhere else. I believe 45 cents, and I'll calculate based on my calculations, and I'm probably gonna do a separate video on that as well. So 45 cents per mile. When I driven for DoorDash and Uber, I did about 200 to 250, 300 miles a day. So we'll use a lower end 200 miles. So 45 cents. I did a roughly about between both apps about 20 deliveries. So we could multiply 45 cents by 20. That puts me at $9 a day. Now, um, take that $9 a day and divide it by 200 miles. What I have driven, that comes back to 4.5 miles, 4.5 cents a mile. Price right now, as I did a calculation using my calculator from episode 2 on my channel, my increase right now is about 4 cents higher per mile than it was when the price was cheaper. So, taking that into an account, I'm actually would be positive of a point 0.5 cents. So half a cent, I would be in the positive side with the fuel prices right now at $4. So what I'm trying to say is what Uber actually did, as long as your calculation is similar to mine, um, and your price of fuel is around $4 or so, you're probably are about the same as long as you deliver with Uber. But most of you guys that deliver with Uber and DoorDash are not delivering all the deliveries with Uber. So majority of probably deliveries are with DoorDash, and because of that, DoorDash have not came up with anything to compensate for gas. Do I personally believe DoorDash will come out? Um, I wouldn't be surprised if DoorDash came out with actually dropping the price on the driver side from 225 to $2 base pay, while charge customers more, but never actually extending that to a driver and turn this into a joke on drivers. Um, I wouldn't be surprised with that. But a lot of you do hope and believe that DoorDash might come out with something positive, like some sort of compensation. Let's see. I don't know. I would like to actually see that outcome. So we're about 24 minutes in. Um, I do sometimes somebody pops in and jumps out. I want to say thank you to every single one of you that joined the live. Thank you every single one of you that have watched this on a replay. Um, I, please kind of comment on some of the things, especially comment on what's your opinion on should I should Ukrainian people go back to Ukraine and help with the war. I'd like to actually hear your guys' opinion. What do you guys think? And appreciate every single one of you. Be blessed. Thank you.